Respected माननीय संतोष तनेजा जी, other dignitaries on the dais, Sri Anush, Dr. Prakashan, Sri Vishnu, members of this PSG institution, stars of the day who have been felicitated for their extraordinary success, their proud parents, future aspirants, distinguished invitees, my dear students, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Meeting is spending time with young people who are the future of our country, especially all the more with such young people who have achieved extraordinary success is a matter of privilege for me, is a matter of sheer delight for me. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate the future civil servants, those who have made the exam. I also like to congratulate their proud parents. The future officers, what you have achieved through your hard work, through your determination. And with the blessings of your and support of your parents. And of course, the teachers. I like to thank the institution like Sambhavi Sankalp, which has taken it as a mission to carry forward the mission of Sankalp. Our respected Santosh Taneja ji gave a brief account of, for want of time, otherwise he has such a wealth of experience and information that he can keep talking about, and listening would be sheer music to our ears. You know, Sankalp, we all know about Sankalp, how it is guiding students, the future civil servants. From the perspective of a former civil servant, I'll tell you Sankalp, the core purpose. You know, these services, especially the All India services, in some way, after we became independent, was a legacy of the imperial services. When I joined the service in 1976, the people in our academy, those who used to quote the role models, were the officers who were more British than the British themselves. How regal, how commanding, how authoritative. I mean, that was something which somehow, for people like me who came from a rural background, not very comfortable with. So one was the attitude of the civil servants. They were government servants, but largely they were not civil. You know, they always thought that they were the rulers. Very often they used to quote one thing: they are the steel frame of India. A steel frame of India they are. But in what sense? You realize you are a frame to hold the country together. You have a purpose. But they became a purpose in themselves. So that somehow the orientation of the civil servant was less service, more an authority. As the British controlled through fear, officers controlled their charges through fear, control. That was one orientation. Second, largely people used to come from affluent backgrounds. People used to, you would see that generations, of course, Santosh Taneja has mentioned about myself that, okay, there's now this, our little service officers, children are not, largely we have children from the students from, or rather young men and women from the rural areas. Rightly so. But those days, majority of officers, those who used to get selected, they all had a pedigree. They had people in the family who were in civil services. Now, these two did not gel with the ethos of our country, India, Bharat. Independent Bharat, civil servants have very, very important role, You have two sets of people who matter in shaping the destiny of the country, largely. Of course, everyone does in its own way. One is a political executive, and second is a permanent civil service. The permanent civil servants who stay in the system while politicians come and go, they are the one who have a great responsibility to see that the policies are implemented equitably, grievances are addressed, and people are empowered. With a sense of service, they are supposed to do their job. Both were missing those days. And in that background, Sankalp started. And Santosh Taneja ji has been right from the beginning. He was the one who conceived, created, nursed, and he has been mentoring it since then. To create civil servants, first, orientation should not be of authority, would not be something imperial attitude, carrying out the legacy, I am the successor of the worthy heir of the British. No. It has to be something which is, ethos have to be of service, Bharatiya, Indian. And second, picking people from the rural area, marginalized section of the people, those who are underprivileged, because they constitute the bulk of our people. This country, Bharat, cannot grow and fulfill her destiny unless every section of it, especially the marginalized section, the poor section, they develop. So our civils are only when we have civil servants from such background, they would be able to feel the pain, they would be able to feel the anguish, they would be able to understand and relate with the problems. With these two objectives, Sankalp started, and as you all know, that in nearly 4 decades of its journey, from a very humble, modest beginning, it has reached where it is today and has the, one should say that it should be credited with producing over 9,000 civil servants. Friends, about this, the winners, I would like to share with you a few, you may call it tips, because when I see you, I go back 48 years back when I was in your position. And when I hear your stories, I was hearing stories, I was quite relating my own story with yours. Because I came from absolute rural background, I didn't see electricity until I went to college. I studied in kerosene lab. Had to walk 8 kilometers one way to go to my school. So those were the conditions. At the time, we didn't know much about, even hardly there was awareness about civil services. What is civil services? But then, the power of dream. We have all talked about the power of dream. It has enormous power. You can move the mountain. Coming up in that adverse circumstances, somehow, I won't say somehow, primarily because of my parents, more so my mother, that my dreams were not small. And in my school, in my library, I used to read inspirational stories that could inspire you as a high school student. And there, of course, it was a Hindi medium school. One of the story while I was reading, for the first time, I heard the name of Thiru. And there, it was written in Hindi, in Devanagari script, which is a script of Hindi. Power of determination. And even before I knew, the writing was that, it was in Hindi, that there was a great rishi, saint of South India, Dakshin Bharat, who said, what did he say? About the power of your resolve, power of your dream. Enniye enniang edip enniyar tenniye rag perin. If you have your determination, if you think to achieve something, nothing will stop you, if you are so firm about it. Somehow it stuck. It stuck to me. And it kept inspiring. And I must share with you, as I said, that I am emotionally at your level where you are, because as I said, I am 48 years back. The two things that kept guiding me, inspiring me all through my life and dealing with all kinds of situations. One was this great Thiruvalluvar saying, which I said, and second was a message from Bhagavad Gita. I was fortunate that as a school student, primary school student, under instruction of my father, I had memorized the entire Bhagavad Gita, or entire 700 sloka of that, even without knowing what it meant. But I tell you, it has continued guiding me, supporting me, giving me strength time to time. So there was one which talks about you do what you are supposed to do and forget about result will come. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phal bhetu. No, you do your work. Forget it. It will come. Do with total devotion. Friends, especially for the aspirants, keep this in mind. You have heard, each of the stories that you heard is inspirational. But eventually, it is you who have to inspire yourself. Do it. For this successful future civil servants, those sitting here, a few tips for your life and your career. From my own experience, I would like to tell you. Because it's the beginning of your life, a new life. Your personal life and your career will grow together. You cannot separate the two. And how do you manage it? Having achieved the success, one chapter is over. Now the next chapter begins. And there will be many chapters. How do you conduct yourself so that you will have a fulfilling life and a fulfilling career? The first thing, you must learn to digest the success. Sometimes some people, for them it becomes difficult to digest the success. And you believe that once it gets into your head, it distorts your personality. You cease to be a humble person. Realize that. One thing you must realize, you have all done very hard work. You had the blessings of your parents and all. But you should realize that there were candidates who were not less bright. They could make it. Be humble. In your success, in your achievement, there are many people who have played the roles. Your parents, your teachers, maybe your siblings, or maybe somebody else who has come across at some point of life, touched you, you met this person, and that person inspired you and brought about a change. There are a lot many invisible factors that go into making ourselves who we are, our success. So, our success is not purely our own alone. There are contributions of others, known and unknown. Be humble. Remember that. You are all at a very senior level, perhaps the senior most level for the service where you start, there you will grow. You will be nice and gentle to your own staff. Even the one who comes and cleans your table, puts a glass of water, be nice to him. It is circumstances that brought him here and you are here. Perhaps the rule could have been otherwise too. So be humble, be nice to all. And believe me, you will be rewarded in many ways, because all these people will look upon you not as somebody to be afraid of or a boss or senior. They will look upon you with affection, the love. And that gives you so much of a strength. Enormous. So be nice, courteous. You must know their family. Especially those who are close working around in your staff. What are their family conditions? Maybe somebody's mother is not well. Ask, find out, do something if you can help. They should become part of your family. Now, if you develop it as a matter of, many of you have it within you, but those of you who are not very, you feel that it needs to be inculcated, do it. Know every staff by name, their family, married, not married, children, how many children, parents. You must know about them, those who are around you, especially those who are around you. It should be a part. It should be like a family. You know, this journey will be very eventful. There will be ups and downs. Don't think that it will always be smooth and pleasant. No. Because responsibilities that you will be dealing with are responsibilities pretty humongous, whether in the field or in the office. Whichever place you are, it will be a big responsibility. Now, you need to take care of, first and foremost, your own self. What does it mean? When I say you need to take care of your own self, we all as a human being, we all have three aspects of our personality: physical, intellectual, and spiritual. Physical, you have to keep yourself healthy. A civil servant should not fall ill. Anybody can fall ill, that's okay. But should not fall ill because of your lifestyle. Because something which is avoidable. When COVID came, people got infected, so okay, what can be done? Nothing. But I see today, you will find that there are civil servants at the age of 40, 45, blood pressure, hypertension, all kinds of problems. No. You must realize you are role model wherever you are. You are role model to your place, your village you come from. You are role model to school or college where you have studied. The students, they look upon you. You are role model for the youth around wherever you work. And a role model cannot afford to be an indisciplined man, a person who is sick. No. Take care of your physical health. And it is not a big deal. All that you need to do is, at a young age, of course, you might be playing games and all those things. Keep playing that. But what has kept me in all through my age so far is a regime of yoga. Yoga, if you can, you should work out for yourself about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour every day. And anyone says that I'm too busy for it is telling you a lie. I'm telling you. Nobody is so busy that cannot find a time to have this. So keep that. Keep yourself physically healthy. You are not in a competition of bodybuilding or weightlifting. You are not going. Your fitness, physical health is a means to an end to keep yourself healthy. Even in our scriptures it says, Sarir madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Body is the medium of fulfilling all our dharma. Dharma is duty. Duty towards myself, duty towards my family, duty towards my parents, duty towards my society, duty towards my country. My body is the medium. So take care of your health. Have a regular regime. Yoga is the best. That is what I found. You may try it and I'm sure you will not regret it. Second is intellectual. You have cleared the exam. That doesn't mean that you know everything. Forget about it. You should first realize that you know nothing. You must realize you have to keep learning, keep growing, keep growing. The subject that you are dealing, learn about it. Be thorough. Beyond that, keep the habit of develop. If you do not have, develop the habit of reading. When you are, because a lot of changes are happening in the world. A lot of things are happening. And I can assure you, don't waste too much time on newspapers too much. Read something worthwhile, which it makes you intellectually, stimulates, enriches you. And there is no dearth of such material, reading material. So keep intellectually growing. Because you will find today you have joined service 10 years, 20 years down the line. There are people who start, there is a gravity down. The people was, you will start a person after 20 years of service, you look at the guy, he looks like somehow, no, not very inspirational. But there are people at the same time, intellectually vibrant, they have options, opportunity, problem solving. People look up to you. If you keep intellectually growing, your opportunities also come, new opportunities keep falling on your side. If you do not, simply because, after all, there is in a bureaucracy, there is a principle of conveyor belt. That if you have got on a conveyor belt, it will keep going, time you will get promotion and all that. That's not a life that is worth of a civil servant. You must grow with a sense of fulfillment. So, when you are intellectually growing, opportunities will start, more and more opportunities will start coming your ways. People will look for you. It is not necessary that what you are doing. What you are doing, that's okay. But people will look for, institutions will look for, authorities will look for even your help in areas which you are not doing. Because they know that here is a person who can show us the way. So keep growing intellectually. That's very important. So develop reading habit. And make it a point that, okay, 1 hour I will read. As a discipline, because most important thing is discipline in life. If you don't have discipline, forget about it. You will not. You got into service, fine. Like everybody else, you will grow and perish. So develop discipline habit of, as first I said, discipline habit of physical fitness, health. Second is intellectual growth. And third is a spiritual. A spiritual is, you don't necessarily, every day you have to go to temple. It's not necessary. Or church or mosque. A spiritual is connecting with the larger. For me, it was a Bhagavad Gita which kept me all through. Sometimes people say, sometimes some of my well-wishers, they say, elders will tell, Ravi, it must be very stressful time. Somebody say, sir, you might be. I only laugh at it. I say, I don't know what they're talking. It is not. It doesn't make sense to me. Because I think I am the least stressed person, I tell you. Because that, what you call a stress, is your own making. The way you look at it. And the way you look at it, that drishti, that outlook, for me, it is Bhagavad Gita that shaped me. You can have any. You are all, with your effort and blessings, you have achieved something which is very, very, very profoundly significant. Can you think of adopting a child from very underprivileged, very, very poor school, a girl preferably, a boy too, no harm, bright, the child. Can you sponsor the seed that you are the child's education? You take care, not only just by sending money, but periodically meeting the school, the teacher, and see how the child is progressing. help the child. If you can help by this kind of, that child becomes part of your family. By the time the child completes her or his school, child is set. Because if you have put your hand and heart in that child will be a successful person in life. And that will give you immense satisfaction. Immense satisfaction. You will not realize unless you have done it. Now, these are all a spirituality, connecting with, doing something for the other. One may call it compassion. Yes, compassion has to be in all of us. And wherever, in every act of ours, compassion must reflect. It should be instinctively. But make it concentrated. Pick up a child. Because when you pick up a child from such a background, it is also a responsibility. When you see the child growing and growing, doing well in examinations, teachers are happy, good, go and occasionally, sometimes, I know you are busy, it won't be possible, but at least once in a while, meet the teachers, find how the child doing. You see, be in part of her life or his life. That will make you much better human being. This journey of life and journey of career will become very, very meaningful. Second thing is, this is your personal, physical, intellectual, spiritual. Second is your financial management. How do you manage your finance? Nowadays we keep hearing about corruption, all this. But I can assure you, there are a large number of civil servants who are absolutely honest. They are doing the service to the country very, very sincerely, untainted. But for that, you have to manage your finances properly. Because without finances, without money, you will not be able to do many things in life. Sometime later, you will have your children, their education. As they grow, education needs, expenses will increase. So you have to learn the habit of saving right from now. You are fortunate that your starting salary will be around 1 lakh rupees. With very little obligation, you should learn how to save. And if you start saving this regularly, I assure you, over a period of time, you will find yourself very, very comfortable. Saving. Because a lot of money that we spend, some people will say is a miser. Forget about all the nonsense. You don't listen to these people who are not worthy of listening. The question is, many a times we overspend. Things on which occasionally you do indulge. There's no harm. I don't say that you have to. But many a times, because of lack of planning, because of lack of financial prudence, we spend everything we get. And I tell you one thing, even if you get 1 crore rupees a month, it is not too much. It will go on. No amount of money is enough if you are not financially disciplined. So, manage your finances properly. This is the age at which you can do some saving. Do it regularly. And then you will find years later, you are in a much better, you don't have to go to anyone and think of, that will not put you under pressure. That lack of money you are not able to. So manage your finances properly, develop habit of saving right from now, and put your money in a way that it grows. Whichever be the schemes, you would know it better. Those of you who are not married, still single. Third advice is choose your spouse carefully. Because it is, as I said, it is your career and life both are going together. And if your spouse is not with you, forget it. You cannot succeed in your life or career both. Your spouse must be your partner in life, willing to travel with you through odds and events, through good time, through bad time. I tell you, if your spouse is with you, you can take on the whole world. You can take on the world, come home, there is somebody who says, yes, you have done right. We are here happy. You may go through all kinds of odds, lot of difficulties. Your spouse. So your spouse must be a person who is willing to travel with you, because as a civil servant, your journey is not going to be so smooth and pleasant. You will go through difficult times. Places of posting will be difficult. You not also everywhere you won't have all the facilities that perhaps if your spouse might expect, if she is not mentally compatible, psychologically compatible with you. So be careful. Choose a spouse who is a partner in your life, who should be able to travel with you. That's very, very important. I think these are some of the tips that has kept me in good shape, and I'm sure that will keep you also in good shape. As far as aspirants are concerned, those who are thinking or planning to go for the civil services, my advice would be, first, think over it. Think over it. Take your time, not too long. Are you serious? Because it's not a marathon where I also ran. That will not help you. You are only wasting. Whether you are determined or not. Once you make a determination that yes, I have to go to civil services, then you get on it. Start studying, start orienting yourself. Because a desultory kind of study, reading whatever comes my way, that is not. It is also because it is a tough competition. So your strategy has to be correct. It is not only like a war, I'm a brave soldier, I will go and fight, you will die. They will kill you. Unless you have the strategy, how to take on. So strategize, that is very important. You must be clear about what is civil services, what are the syllabus, what are the questions. Allocate the time. Time management is very important. And 3 things in life is important for whichever field you go. First, whichever goal you set, you have to work very hard, dedicate yourself to that, and be self-disciplined. Time management is very important. And for the aspirants, if you think that okay, now it's time, I'm going with my friend for 1 week holiday, fine, I will start after that. No, that will not work. If you have decided that I have to go for this, forget about all this. Unless you get the goal. What Swami Vivekananda said, don't stop not until you achieve the goal. You have reached the goal. So all these holidaying, merrymaking, you can have it later, not now. If you have chosen to do something like this, then your day begins from your journey of preparations begins today. So you must manage your time very, very carefully. Every day, the day you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep, the time in between, It is not that today, sometime you wake up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, other time you're getting about 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not the way. It's indiscipline. You will not achieve anything in life unless you are, first of all, you have to discipline yourself. Time management. In between, when you wake up and sleep, how you are managing the time, how much time you are wasting, especially for the aspirants. Nowadays, a lot of distractions. You have a screen, mobile, all kinds of things. Don't waste time on that. If you are accessing something on the internet, by all means you do that. But we know how much time. General study shows that our young people are spending about 5 to 6 hours a day surfing on mobile just like that. No, this is a sheer waste of time. Not only waste of time, it also takes a heavy toll on your capacity to think, capacity to analyze, because you are all the time glued to a visual phenomenon. Your mind stops. Only emotions react. No, it is not only a distraction, but it's something which intellectually debilitates you. So be disciplined about how much time you are spending on the screen. It's very important. So set your goal, work hard to achieve that goal by self-discipline and proper management of time, and have confidence in yourself. Each one of you are your best friend, but also you are your worst enemy. Nobody is a better friend to you than yourself, and nobody is a worse enemy to you than yourself. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Atmaiva Atmanayo Atmano Bandhu Atmanaiva Riput Atmana. You are the enemy of yourself, you are the friend of yourself. Do you want to be a friend of yourself? Do you want to be enemy of yourself? If you want to be a friend of yourself, be disciplined and work hard and trust in yourself. Remember what Thiru says. Nothing will stop you. You will achieve it. Be sure about it. Friends, I'm very happy to be with all of you today. I love to hear the stories of the young people, because very selfish reason, it also makes me young. And after all, you guys are the future of our country. You must be hearing future, but no, this is not a rhetoric. Our country today is a unique position. Our country today is marching ahead with a confidence that never before. At the time of independence, we were the 6th economy in the world. But in 2014, we dropped down to 11th economy in the world. Today, we have again come to the 5th. And we know that in a few years, we are going to be the number 3rd economy. You are a witness, you are fortunate. You are a witness and participant both in the journey of this country. You all, young civil servants and those who are aspirants, all of you are at a very, very fortunate moment in history of our country. Now the country has set a goal. That 2047, we have to be a fully developed country. Each one of us have to set a goal. Yes, when in 2047, 15th of August, ask a question to yourself. What did I do to make this country great? Answer to that question will give you the satisfaction of your life and the purpose. So, today, we have so much of opportunities. And for the aspirants, for others, those who wish to, for the young people, there are many things which are available. The government of India, the Prime Minister is so keen for building the youth, because they know that you are the guys who are actually going to not only make it, but also to enjoy the fruits of Viksit Bharat, the developed Bharat. By and large, people of my generation will all be vanished or will all disappear. It is you guys. Realize that. Keep that in mind. That you are not just an individual. You are a national asset. And when you say national asset, you have a responsibility toward the nation to make it great, to make this Bharat great. I am sure you will do that. I have no doubt about it. I wish all of you the very, very best. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat.